What up, friends? I'm George.
And I'm Rhonda.
And this is What About Your Friends?
Our web series talking about all things friendship.
Friendship.
And today we come to you with heavy hearts because we're going to be talking about a topic that, I think we've all, it's okay.
I don't think I'm ready for it.
It's okay. It's going to be okay. That we've all probably experienced, but we don't really necessarily know how to navigate through it, and it can be very challenging, and that is
when it's time for your friendship to end.
Yeah, breaking up with your friends.
Breaking up with your friends.
Yes, but before we get into the topic, as we've shared with you on some of our previous episodes, we are on a health journey, and so we're purging. We're doing our best not to drink alcohol. And so no signature cocktail for this particular webisode. I always struggle saying that.
Webinar? That's like a training, but
webisode. But we do have some healthy drinks that we're trying today. So I have Turmeric Coconut by Temple Turmeric. I don't know if you guys can really see that. You can't, huh? The lighting is weird. But anyway, it's like 5% juice, but turmeric is supposed to be really good for you, especially when you're trying to cleanse and detox your body. I'm trying to do better so I could be better.
Yes. And I'm drinking a cold pressed juice from Well. You can't see the light and it's just popping. And it's watermelon and a tart cherry and a biodynamic lemon.
So fancy.
You know,
I start to wonder sometimes, not to get off topic, but do all these things really as fancy as they say they are? They use super big words like GMO and biodynamic. What the fuck? What is a biodynamic lemon?
I think I'm biodynamic actually. I'm gonna start using that word. No, okay. But today we're talking about when it's time to let a friendship go, or when you're being cut off, or when you're cutting a friend off.
Yes.
Hence the all black.
Yes, we're in mourning. So first of all, we want to say rest in peace to all the friends that we've lost along the way. It probably was necessary for the both of us. And
you can't take everybody with you, okay?
Just can't.
People are there for reasons and seasons.
Yes, only a few are there for a lifetime. So, yeah, rest in peace to them. But we're going to jump right into it. And I think the first thing we should kind of talk about is how you know that you're being broken up with if your friend is not bold enough to just tell you to your face. So we'll give you some signs to know when you're being broken up with. George?
I'll start it off.
He'll start it off because this is what he does. So pay attention.
I'm a runner, okay? Look, you just gotta be honest. If it's time to go, because I'm not calling you anymore. I'm not gonna text you anymore. I'm gonna be short in my responses with you. And that's it. It probably won't be no conversations because I don't feel like we're no longer gonna be friends at this point on February 27th, 19, whatever. But I just pull back gracefully. I love you. I will always love you, in the great words of Whitney Houston and Dolly Parton. But it's just, I have to pull back. Because at this particular point, and Rhonda said, I'm real patient. I try to work things out. I try to hint certain stuff. But if we have conversation after conversation and your behavior has not changed, just tiptoe.
So he sneaks out. So basically, if you have a friend that's your communication is starting to slow down, you're sending them text messages, they're not texting you back, you calling, they ain't calling back, you're probably getting broken up with. And listen, you can address that how you want to. Me, I'm gonna come head on, not to be confrontational, but I'm going to be hey, I've noticed that we haven't been communicating. Are you okay? Are things okay between us? So yeah, but if that's happening, you definitely know. So another sign that you are getting broken up with is when the invitations to the personal things start to slow down, coming over to the person's home, going out to a dinner one-on-one, if that's something that you guys used to do on a regular basis, and now all of a sudden they're doing that with someone else and they're never ever doing it with you.
Ever? Never, ever,
They're
ever?
probably breaking up with you. Yeah, they're
Sad,
probably trying to, distance themselves, and they just don't know how to just tell you straight up that they're done with you and the situation.
Another way is like if you guys have mutual friends and the mutual friends know all the information about this person and you know nothing about them. Yeah, they probably
Like they got engaged. They got a new job.
Yes.
They ain't tell you.
They got a new car.
Yeah, they forgot.
Got a new boo or something, and a friend knows all the information and you know nothing. They probably don't mess with you, son.
They probably broke up with you.
They broke up with you.
Another one. This one is gonna be probably a little controversial, but it's happened to me, so I know. I'm gonna try not to shut it to you. When your friend disconnects on social media, if they unfollow your page,
Yes.
or unfriend you,
Unblocked.
or somehow magically your page is now blocked and you can't see nothing on, I mean, they're probably, yeah,
Scrolling down that.
you try and scroll and find them, and
You think they changed their name? Nah, son.
they ain't changed their name
They blocked
because you
you.
seen them in somebody's comments earlier. But yeah, that's usually a sign as well that they are just not here for the friendship anymore, and they kind of want to move on. So those are some signs to kind of know if you're being broken up with. Now, moving on to talk about when it's time to let a friendship go. George, shall you begin?
Listen.
Here comes the Shade King.
If this person drains your everlasting soul, and you have to look at the phone and think twice before you want to be bothered with the person, it's time to let it go. It is, because if you're like, yeah, those
And
are,
you find yourself doing that often. Like,
Yeah.
me personally, people say that. Like me personally, duh. Anyway, like for me, sometimes I get like that even when I'm not like trying to break up with a friend. Sometimes I just like don't feel like talking to anyone or that particular person. Maybe it's because I talked to him a lot recently and I just need a break. But if this person is doing it like you're doing that about this person all the time, every time they ring your phone, every time you see their name pop up on a text message, every time you see a photo of them on Instagram, yeah, you are probably at your wits' end and ready to sever things with them.
yes.
Yeah.
And I would like to note, you hate to let people go, and if you can salvage some relationships, do so if you can, if you feel like it, because sometimes, like we said, communication is key, and sometimes a lack of communication will end a friendship as well. Like if you do something and you irritate me and I never tell you, okay, let's talk about this. I'm sorry, I jumped subjects real quick. It's not fair for you to leave a person if they don't know why you're leaving them. It's kind of like you just, it's like abandonment issues, I guess.
Yeah.
My thing is, it's like,
Which is why you running from people and not telling them is a bad thing.
it is. You better hold me accountable.
I'm trying.
Listen.
Tell them to their
well,
face.
let me tell you why I run a little bit. I don't really run. I'm a giving person. I'm a listener. I feel like I have a PhD in being a good friend. Mm-hmm. And just like me and Rhonda had with a little situation, mm-hmm. I expressed my feelings to her, and she didn't like what I had to say, but she accepted it and we adjusted, and it worked out.
Yeah.
But if we have this conversation and your behavior is the same, then I back away.
Okay.
So I'm not saying I'm just gonna run and be looking like I'm not gonna tell you why I'm not talking to you, because that's not fair to you. Right. But if we discuss this issue, and sometimes I will pull back and adjust myself, and if you ask me, I will tell you. And before I leave you, we will have a conversation, or I have addressed the issues before I walk away. Okay. But what I'm saying is, I don't have a sit down with you, be like, your time has come to an end. Exit stage left. See you, goodbye. I don't do that. But if we talk about it and then you don't change, I'm gonna just pull back.
He's done. Okay, so another time of like kind of knowing when it's time to let a friendship go is when, to me, there's like a lack of respect or violation of friend loyalty. And so these things are forgivable depending on who you are and what you're willing to accept. But just a couple of examples of this. Like if you sleep with my man,
Bye-bye.
it's over, sis. Like I can't forgive you. I'm not gonna forgive him either. You know, that's just like not cool. Or if I feel like you don't respect me as a person, you don't respect anything that I do, you don't respect anything that I say, you always put me down, you're never encouraging, you're always picking apart everything that I do and say. It's just kind of like, to be honest, you should probably break up with me because I don't think that you want to be a good friend to me. And so if someone is doing that, like draining you or violating your time, your space, and things that are just like non-negotiables for you, it's probably time to break up with them.
And before you get dragged by your friend, you might just want to just leave left. Okay?
Yes.
But loyalty is true. Like if you find yourself, and sometimes you need to check yourself and seeing if if you still want to be friends with a person. Because if you find yourself talking about that person when you used to defend that person, then your dynamics of that friendship has changed, and I think you might have lost a little bit of respect for this person. Because if it was, oh, don't talk about my friend, or I don't feel comfortable, and now you're in and now you're having conversations with people talking about the friend. So if somebody has an issue and you're chiming in now, that's the issue.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because now you're talking about this friend in a group, in a setting, and you don't have that person's best interest at heart. And it's just unfortunate. And so you need to check yourself to say, if I really want to be friends with this person.
Yeah. Yes. It is important that you arrive to like really understanding when it's time to break up with someone, and do it sooner than later. It's no different than like if you're in a relationship with someone that like you love, like a romantic relationship. You don't want to waste time on like staying there if it's really not working for you and them. Like it's probably best that you cut ties early on so that you don't drag this thing out and wind up making things worse. Like the last thing you want is to like be in a knockdown, drag them out fight, a love and hip hop brawl with anybody because you just didn't call it out when it happened. And that's why I say I'm not confrontational, but I feel like it's like important to address the issues when they come up, because if you don't, they fester. And then the person did one little thing, and now you blowing up on them about 5 things that happened 10 years ago.
But you really mad at something, and you mad at something else, but they did something small, so you blew up on them.
Yes, and so like you have to be conscious, and to me that speaks to like knowing yourself, like really knowing you, spending time with you, being a good friend to you, and recognizing that like, you know what, these are the things I'm not going to deal with from her, him, or them. And so when it comes up, you just like totally address it head on. But any other, times where you should break up with a friend?
Sometimes it's not necessarily breaking up. Sometimes you outgrow a friendship. And for me, I feel like I want all my friends to be growing. We should not be in the same spot that we're in 5 years ago or 2 years ago, not even probably like a year ago. Maybe a year might be harsh, but if we're not elevating and we're not motivating and we're not accomplishing goals together, then sometimes I have to leave you where you are. I still love you. If you need me, you can call me, and if I'm available to help you, I will help you. But I cannot stay in the same cycle, because that's stopping my growth as a person, as a man, as an individual. And there are goals and things I want to do and accomplish and achieve. There are like places I haven't seen. Like when we talked about, we had a traveling video when we talked about if you can't go, some people can't go because of money issues. I mean, if you really want to go, you're going to do what you need to do so you can go on these trips, or do what you need to do so you could explore the world and be your best self. And sometimes I have friends that are still stuck in their 20s or still stuck in high school and still bringing up stuff from high school. Yeah, we can laugh and joke, but every time we get together, we're talking about the same thing over and over again. Or if we're out to dinner and we don't have any conversation because the connection's gone, I still love you. Like we're still friends. We're still friends.
Technically, but we're just outgrowing the close-knit or circle. Like I don't know whose quote this is, but it goes, you're only as good as your team.
Yes.
And I agree with that. Or,
And
you
I
know,
want
other
winners
people,
on my team.
right. Or other people have said, like, show me your 5 closest friends and I'll show you yourself. Like, if your circle doesn't represent what you're trying to do, what you're doing, the places that you're going, and we don't mean like just on something like traveling, we don't mean like that. Like, where you really trying to elevate your life to, period. Like, if your circle does not look like that, they're not trying to make some of the same moves, like, you're probably outgrowing them. And again, Godspeed, love you, we're definitely still friends, but I don't know if I could basically like run in a circle with you.
And your parents tell you this all the time. When you're younger, they said, watch the company you keep.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you don't understand that. But as you grow older, you are who your friends are, and you do the things that your friends do. So if your friends have never traveled and are not travelers, you're probably not going to travel. If your friends don't do certain things, you probably won't experience unless you meet somebody that's going to introduce you to it.
Yeah.
And I know that firsthand because I met my college friends and they had been to Miami. I had never been to Miami, so I went with them. So they opened me to a life of travel. But if I had my high school friends, some of them never left out of DC. That would have been me. So you are sometimes the company you keep, and you don't realize sometimes
Not sometimes.
Yeah.
You are the company that you keep, period.
Sometimes it's kind of like the I don't want to say hood, but like when you're a product of your environment or your neighborhood, and that one person gets out, and when that one person kind of gets out, they explore life, and people might look back and be like, "Oh, you changed," and whatever you Hollywood, you just know it's just that I've been exposed to different things, and I
want different things for myself, like. To me, you should always be evolving and changing for the better. You should always be trying to figure out how to improve upon yourself. And you can only do that, one, when you make the decision to do it in your heart and in your mind, but when you have people around you that keep you accountable, that keep you moving towards the goals. Like, I was on the phone with a friend the other day, and I talked about like my fears of jumping out here and doing, you know, something that's bold, something that's different, something that's like not my 9 to 5. And the friend was like, okay, so like, what do you need? How much does it cost? And I was like, I think to get started is probably like $20. She was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna send you $20. Like if that's all it takes and you just need somebody to get you the $20. Now granted, I obviously have the $20, but she's basically telling me, she's helping me to remove the fear. Like, stop being scared to step out there. Those are the type of friends that we all need. And the great thing is that I have that friend in Georgie. He definitely like encourages and pushes me, and I do the same for him.
Yes.
And so if you don't have people like that, you probably need to go ahead on and break up with them. Another thing on when you probably need to break up with someone is when I'm trying to think how to word this. Like, it kind of falls under like support, which we kind of talked about already. Like, a person is just not being supportive, but a person that's like supporting you with an expectation, I think is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like, people that you start to figure out are opportunists, or they're only in your life because they want something from you.
Or they see you where you're going and they're trying to get on your coattail.
Yeah, they're trying to ride it. Yeah. Or like, all of a sudden, you might have known them for 10 years. Y'all always like talked on social media, catch up every 6 months. Now all of a sudden you get a wonderful opportunity, and now they're on your phone every 2 weeks. Now they want to take you out for coffee. Like, now they're trying to be super involved in your life. Like, it's nice to have the love and the interest, right, and the support from someone, but you have to discern when that's like real and when it's like not real. When it's someone that's just doing it to leech. Whether it's just to leech off of your attention. You don't have to be rich or famous. You know, we know people ride those people's coattails. But sometimes people just want to ride the wave of like, you appear to be cool, or you appear to be a very loving person. Or you're the it person,
or you're in the it group. So they might be friends with you, trying to get friends with other people. And they really don't have no loyalty, and they just all over the place.
Right.
They're friends with this person, that person.
Like, you got to check their friend facts.
Yeah.
You got to check their background.
Yep. Like, I may have a lot of friends, but everybody knows Rhonda. Like, everybody knows who my core people are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have different sets of core friends, but it's not like I'm searching and I'm just hopping. Like, I'm just genuinely a nice person, and when all my friends get together, they all get along. And I bring them together. So it's just not like I have this pocket, my family. I bring them all together, and when they come together, they get to meet each other. So it's not like, oh, who them friends over there, whatever. I can say a name, and they can put a face with the name.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, you gotta look out for people who always make you feel bad or try to make you feel like they won't let you grow because they're stuck in the past. Oh, why you doing this? Or you think you better than everybody. No, it's not. I don't think I'm better. I'm working. I'm doing something different from you. So why are you always trying to bring me back to where I used to be? You know what I'm saying? Let me grow. Let me be an individual, and you can grow with me. And that's why they say you always can't take everybody with you, because some people can't imagine you. They want you to be the person from 10 years ago. And you can't be the person from 10 years ago. And if you are the person from 10 years ago, then that's an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. So now on to dealing with getting broken up with. Like, if you happen to be on the receiving end of being dumped, I mean, it sucks. I mean, like, it sucks. Maybe it was something that you didn't do. Maybe that person just got it all wrong, and you were really being a great friend, or maybe you just really were kind of being a shitball friend, like you weren't being a good friend. You know, if someone makes a decision to remove you from their space, from their life, the first thing that you need to do is respect their decision. You can certainly try your hand at having a discussion about it, seeing if there's anything that can change. But I would definitely just respect their decision, and that was something that they needed to do for themselves. And it may not be forever. Like, it may be in this season that they can't handle, like, being your friend. And so you should just respect it and try to accept it and move towards focusing on the other relationships in your life. And if you really did make some mistakes in that friendship, just make sure that you don't repeat them in your other friendships. Like, try to learn from getting dumped.
So, whatever situation you go through, whether it's relationship, friendship, you should learn from it at the end of it. At the end of a relationship, even if they leave you, if they don't leave you, you should find the lesson in that friendship. And once you find the lesson, you can move on. I mean, if somebody doesn't want to be your friend, there's nothing you can do. You can't make that person like you, want you, whatever. As long as you have to just make an assessment with yourself. Was I the best friend? Did I do everything that I could have done? Or if I did do it, accept your fault and move on, and just try not to make that same mistake over again. And sometimes them leaving your life is a blessing.
Right.
Sometimes you might not have the courage to say, oh, I don't want to be your friend no more. And like, say if something Patty happy and that person says, oh, I don't want to be your friend, they just did you a favor.
Yep.
So don't feel bad. Change is good. You should always
learn. You may not
learn.
understand it right now.
Yeah, you might not just learn from this situation.
Yeah. Another thing is, just no different than, again, in a romantic breakup. Let's not go on like a smear campaign and start trashing the person. Because see, here for me, if you break up with a friend and then I start hearing that you just dragging their name through the mud, telling everybody all the business that you knew while you and them were friends. Now I'm gonna be questioning you. I'm gonna be looking like, yeah, that's why she dumped you, and I'm about to dump your ass too, because you can't be trusted. Again, respect the person.
Because if you did it to her, you're gonna do it to me.
That's right. Like, again, move on respectfully, and don't trash the person. There was something good at some point.
Listen, you tell my business, it's gonna listen.
I'm
going for blood.
National Enquirer. But yeah, like, don't go on a smear campaign. Don't start bad mouthing them. Don't start sending subliminals on social media, child. Like, that is so 1999. Like, let that be. Well, maybe not 99. Maybe like 09.
And when you do subliminals, it just shows that when you're immature, you're hurt by the situation. Yeah. You really still want to be their friend, or you still like. When you do stuff like that, you give the other person power and you give them leverage over you. Yeah. And my thing is, the best revenge is silence, and to be great without them. Absolutely. You don't want to be my friend? That's fine. but watch me blow up and let me glow up.
Yeah, watch me glow up. Watch me glow up.
Yeah, and everybody gonna be like, wasn't that your friend? Ain't y'all friends? And then you gonna say what? What you gonna say?
Yes. That was my
They
friend.
gonna be like, well, what happened?
You know what? It's really none of your business, and I hope that you know, I wish her or him all the best. You know, it just.
But that's the mature thing to say, but it ain't gonna happen like that.
It's not. So, but that's what you should strive for, especially because, like I said, I'm sorry, my head was really, really itching. It could be a temporary thing, and so it could come back around. Like it really could. And the last thing you want is like that opportunity to just be, you know, buried because you went on this. I hate this person so much. I'm so hurt by the fact that they broke up with me that I was just gonna trash talk them. And you don't want that type of reputation for being known for like spilling all your friends' business. So, you know, I think those are really the two things like that you should really, really, really make sure that you focus on if you happen to get dumped. Like it's not the end of the world. You probably have other friends, and it probably was the best thing for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, again, RIP to the friends that we've lost along the way. Or have you ever been dumped?
I don't know if I have.
You didn't notice?
I didn't notice, or I don't care that much. I try to actually, I'm the type of person. I'm always gonna love you. I'm always gonna be respectful because no one has ever did anything cruddy to me for me to be like, "Ugh." But even like in relationships, I always try to be cordial. I still want to. I don't hate anybody.
Okay. Good.
Everything is at peace. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. And I might keep moving. I ain't gonna have no small talk with you. Hey, how you doing? Good. God bless you. Keep it moving. But yeah, I mean,
I've never been dumped. Not that I can remember. Like George said, I'm pretty sure I've never been dumped. But yeah, I mean.
And I would never give a person that power for me not to speak to somebody or to. I don't give people that much energy. I don't.
And on that note, because he not an energy giver, child.
Because everybody's not worthy of your energy.
Ooh.
You gotta be careful who you let in your space. Listen, I'm about to get preaching.
Listen, he about to go. Let's wrap this up, and we're gonna bring up the energy conversation at another time. So listen, follow me on Instagram at Ronnie Cakes, RHONI Cakes.
And I am GTW on Instagram. Yeah.
His energy's getting crazy. So, or you can follow us at our page, Frening, FRENING. Of course, we always love your comments, questions. We want to do a webisode soon talking about what you want to talk about. We want to answer your questions about friend situations that maybe you've been through, you don't know how to deal with it. So definitely slide in our DMs.
We want to hear from you.
We want to hear from you. We don't
just
want to
We want to help friends. We want to help people.
Yes, and listen, send us your videos when y'all hanging out and stuff. Tag us. Like,
yes.
We want to see what you out here doing in the streets.
So we can post you on our page.
Yes. All right, be careful out there on your dumping spree. Don't let this video have you going and cutting off all your friends. Just work hard at being a good friend and make sure you got good friends in your space. And we will catch you guys
next time.